Hello and welcome back to Trojan Sports Now. With me today is Levi Thomas from the Trojan baseball team. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So this is a great opportunity for fans to get to know you on a bit of a more personal level. So one thing I always like to ask is how you even got involved with this sport. So kind of take us back to how you started playing baseball.
Well, pretty much growing up, I was always surrounded by sports. It was just a big part of my childhood, whether it be going to my older brother's games. That kind of got me started, I guess you could say. I mean, also my parents were also big sports enthusiasts. They just enjoy watching sports. But pretty much for as long as I can remember, I've been doing something baseball related. Started out in t-ball, coach pitch, then kid pitch, and eventually now here I am in college. So it just kind of started at a very early age, and just sort of always surrounded by it, and just the love and passion for it took over, and here I am.
Have you always been a pitcher, or did you play, other positions?
When you're a child, I guess you just play whatever,
Yeah.
Or I would say around high school is when I really just discovered that I wanted to be a pitcher, and I didn't really have that choice to be just a pitcher only. Just kind of the way our team was set up and everything, I was needed and wanted in other positions. So I kind of just did whatever the coach asked, really. But pitching was always my favorite position by far. But in high school, I kind of played all over, and definitely, I pitched a good bit, and it was always my favorite thing to do. And eventually, when the time came to go to college, and I was given the ability to just be a PO, and I absolutely love it, and haven't looked back. Don't miss anything else at all. Just everything about pitching, I love. It's my favorite thing for sure.
Good. Usually, people will have a certain moment where that's how they knew they wanted to play this certain sport or be a fan of a certain team.
Yeah.
What moment for you was really big when you decided baseball is my passion, like I absolutely love it?
Honestly, it's kind of surprising to some people. As a kid, a lot of people may experience and just go around and try different sports or positions or just whatever it may be. But for me, I have honestly never played another sport.
Wow.
Never tried out, never given another sport the time of day to really give it a shot, I guess. And it's been baseball for me for my entire life. And it's not to say that I don't, I guess, enjoy watching other sports, but baseball is definitely the only sport I've ever truly played competitively or recreationally, I guess. But yeah, it's just been baseball for me my whole life. I guess I'm really kind of the only one out of my close friend group, I guess, that's only ever done that. Everyone else seems to have football stories or a lot of basketball stories and stuff, but it's just baseball for me, and that's just how it's always been.
Now, you mentioned you had a brother that played. Did anybody else play any other sports in your family?
Yes, I have an older brother, and I have a younger brother as well. Okay. And my older brother played football when he was younger, and eventually when he got to high school, he just specialized in baseball. And he eventually went on to play baseball at a community college, and now he's a nurse. And my younger brother is a senior in high school, and he played baseball up until, I want to say, his junior year, and now he's just focusing on school. And both of them actually played football, but for me, it's just been strictly baseball.
Now, is there like a certain moment when you're playing or you going out or you have been playing, whether it be like the ball hitting the bat or fans screaming, it's something that kind of always sticks with you when you go to a game that you're looking forward to every time you play?
I would say definitely it'd be the atmosphere.
Yeah.
There's nothing more exhilarating than getting that big out in a really close game, or just something along those lines of getting that big out that you need, and hearing the crowd erupt and looking over as you're walking off the mound and seeing your team just jump out of the dugout, come at you screaming it's an indescribable feeling.
Right.
And it's something I look forward to each and every time I go out there pitching, and it's always a blast. It's always a blast. The fans are something special.
Now, do you have a certain game that is like most memorable? Whether that could be outside of college, but just a certain game that you remember or something stuck out that you're like, I'm always going to remember this game?
Yeah, two moments come to mind. Most recent would be last year pitching against Georgia in the Athens Regional.
Yes.
That's something I never thought in my wildest dreams would ever happen. Then back in high school, we were playing at a tournament in Lake Point, and it was my best game probably for high school. I took a perfect game into the 5th inning and unfortunately gave up just a little hit up the middle, but eventually finished the game, so went 7 full innings and had 14 strikeouts. And that's definitely my most memorable moment from high school, and then from college will be against Georgia. So two things I never thought would ever happen pitching-wise, and it's crazy how far I've come.
Now, kind of talk about that transition. What's your hometown again?
Coleman.
Okay. I know a little bit about Coleman. So kind of talk about that transition from playing high school baseball to when you were a freshman here and you're, getting to know a new staff. You have so many other players now, so many different coaches. Kind of talk about that transition with getting to know, Coach Smart and everybody else.
It was definitely a learning experience, more so because I guess there's a lot more at stake,
Right.
Whether that just be winning or if you don't perform, the possibility of getting cut's always there, which is a lot different than high school. And it just, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just me being dumb, but I feel like there's a lot more pressure applied definitely compared to high school sports.
Yeah.
But definitely the pressure aspect, the need to perform at your best at all times. I definitely feel like there's a lot more eyes on you at all times in all aspects, whether that be practice, during especially games, or things like this, press coverage. There's just a lot more things that go into it, and I would say it can be stressful at times, but overall it was a learning experience for sure, and getting to know the team, that's always a really, really fun part. Each year we come in and there's new guys. You get to learn these guys. You get to learn what they're about and see what they can do. And this year we got a new pitching coach, and so that was also an interesting experience, learning, getting to know him and kind of what he's about. But other than that, it's always a fun time each year when you get to meet the new guys and make some new friends and just kind of grow and get together as a team.
Right. What are some bright spots you've seen from this team that progressed from last year? You guys aren't, doing absolutely as good as you would want to right now, which is fine. It's okay. You still have time. But what are some things that you see that are better than last season?
I would say I feel like we're a really close team. There's all the time something going on, whether it be we're at someone's house or hanging out or just anything like that. It always seems like there's a group hanging out or doing something together. Good. And it's always a good time. You never have to wonder if there's a group getting together or anything like that. You just got to check the group message and you know where to go. I feel like there's just a lot of untapped potential with this team, and it's just a mission of finding out how to tap into that. And I think hopefully soon I think we'll hit our stride and we'll get rolling, and it'll be a great time.
And that was a bit of my next question. What do you think needs to be done to get you guys back in that winning streak or, kind of back on the right track? A lot of teams sometimes will have slumps in the middle of their season and then they come out of it. But what do you see as a pitcher are some things that the rest of the team kind of has to, change up and fix to get back?
I would say it's across the board. It's not just one group of players or the pitching staff versus the offense. It's across the board. It's the whole team. And I think just from our position alone, me being a pitcher, the pitching staffs, we need to be better. We're having way too many walks and just hit by pitches a game. And at the beginning of the season, all those numbers were drastically lower than they are now. And I think we just need to pound all of our drills and just come to practice with just sheer focus and just do everything we can do to get back to that point. And offensively and defensively wise, just a team effort, just bringing a focus to practice to get as much done for that day as we can, and hopefully get the bats going and score some runs, and the defense will be there to back up the pitching, and we'll all just click. And I think just putting in the work and practice, and eventually it'll pay off. And because, like you said, every team hits that slump or whatever, and it's just figuring out how to get out of it, I think, and that's what we're doing right now. We're working hard to figure it out, though, for sure.
Good. So is there a certain team that you're looking forward to playing this season that you really got to get back to, or even a team you haven't played before? Is there just a certain team on the schedule that you're like, I can't wait to play?
Oh, I mean, everyone's been talking about Coastal,
Yeah.
just because, I mean, you know, Coastal it's looked as the top tier in the Sun Belt. They
Yep.
won it every year since they've been in the conference, and that's always the game that everyone's excited for, just because they know the level of competition is going to be the best you're going to get in the conference usually.
Right.
And so it's always a fantastic game back and forth. And last year they took 2 from us, and so we're looking to even that out this year. But yeah, it's I would say definitely Coastal is what we hear the most about for sure. And so we're ready to get going again. So I'd say that's probably what we're looking forward to most.
Okay. Well, best of luck to you guys. I know
Yes.
I'll hear good things about you, and thank you again so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Stay tuned for more of what's coming up in Troy Athletics right after this.